guys, welcome back. So, my parents are currently out of the house, which is why I can be so vocal. And welcome to another hot take. So I decided to do another hot take because, well, the first one was so popular. No, I mean, everyone knows, you know. I'm also currently trying out something with the camera. I had my dad, charge up an older camera of his that has a whole flippy thing, like from Good Luck Charlie. And that's actually right next to the camera I'm gonna be using. So I'm double recording myself just to see, like, you know, how things work, see where the stuff in the camera is stored, and also because I can now see myself, so. This hot take is gonna be about sustainability. And more specifically, it's gonna be basically about how it's treated legally and how it's treated educationally / just around people. So first of all, sustainability or environmental friendly acts are typically ignored on both ends. That being said, I remember the legal aspect. One president, Jimmy Carter, he put solar panels on top of the White House, which the next president that came, Ronald Reagan, immediately took them down because he didn't like it. Jimmy Carter obviously knew that there was some environmental stuff that we were not dealing with, and so his wanting to put solar panels on top of the White House actually really helped. Well, not on top, I think somewhere on the White House. It really helped because, hey, now he had all these panels that were, you know, absorbing sunlight. They were there for electricity, and they were reducing our carbon footprint, which is so good. Having solar panels on something like a giant building they use a lot of electricity every day is like a perfect idea. I would say that you can do that also with your home because you can, I think, but I can tell how, like, or I could see how some people would be like, I don't have that kind of money lying around to just, you know, whoop up some solar panels up there, because let's be real, they're not $5. Doing something good for the environment that typically does not bring a whole lot of money in. That being said, I do want to say one thing real quick. I thought that my parents were never really that environmentally friendly, as in, you know, we always drank out of plastic bottles and all these other waste-producing things, like had plastic bottled shampoo and conditioner and all that. But I actually recently found out that my parents had invested in a solar panels park or something years ago, where that was a legitimate just field used for solar panels. And my parents are still having invested in that, and they're still gaining from it or whatever. So you can definitely do that. I would definitely suggest that because that's probably a pretty good way to A, reduce your own carbon footprint, B, help put some good into the world, and C, it always helps you look better. I hate to use sustainability for that, but literally every company uses sustainability, global warming, all that, always for their own good. Alright, so that's pretty much my legal aspect of it, with the whole, legally there isn't really any push ever to do anything. If there's even any legal person's like, oh my god, yes, we need to do something so bad, nothing happens. So many people promised all of these things, empty promises. Like a lot of presidents, when they're, you know, going for the presidential seat, they always promise these things like, oh, we're gonna help immigration, we're gonna help the environment, we're gonna do all of these things, but then they just end up doing the things that they actually want to do once they're in office. And from that, only the things that are actually gonna get through it, you know, that are gonna get moved, because we all know the American government moves slowly. Not saying that that's the only government that moves slowly, perhaps, but I am saying that that's the only one I know of that moves slowly. I don't even know how the German government works, though. Not that I know how the American government works. Nope. I just know two branches decide a whole bunch of crap, and if something does not go through either of the branches completely, not happening. But yeah, so that's pretty much like legally, nothing really ever gets done. A lot of people always write about it, always say, come on, do something. But here's a good thing. Even though businesses and the government don't actually do much ever to help the environment, there are a lot of other businesses that just open up and create those environmental solutions for you. Like, per se, Package Free Shop. That is one of many shops that I go to, and, well, not go to, but it's in New York, so a little far away. And expensive. Well, it's not expensive, but It's in New York and it's really, really cool. They have a whole bunch of sustainable options on their website. They're all about zero waste. They have biodegradable packaging or recyclable. Then they have biodegradable this and that, everything. I have toothbrush, toothpaste, or I have my dental stuff from them. And then I also have from a different company that's closer to me, Maple Stone Company. They are a little less focused on the whole environmental factor, but they like playing around with the natural smells and scents. And from them I get my shampoo, conditioner, body wash, face oil, a lot. And it all costs pretty small, like, doesn't cost that much. And the biggest thing about it though is it's like this tiny. It's a tiny little donut versus this big a bottle, you know? So I'm just saying, even though businesses do not do anything about it, as people can do things. Even when you think using your stainless steel straw or, you know, just your reusable straw doesn't do anything, it actually does do something. I know it never feels like it actually does change anything, but just me using a stainless steel bottle to go to school, that already helps because I'm not using a plastic water bottle to store my water, and also that bottle I think it can hold more water than like the regular just clear water bottles, and also it holds it cold, which is another good thing. The only kind of upsetting thing for me personally is that I can't drink unfiltered water or water from the water fountain because apparently it's not filtered enough for me. Or filtered at all, I don't really know. But the cool thing is I cannot just fill up a water bottle there. I do have to have the filter in there, so I personally have a Brita filter water bottle, which I do use, not all the time because, you know, it just depends on, am I going to school? How long am I going to be there? Will my water bottle without a filter work? Because normally it does. I'm normally not for like hours and hours there. I'm usually just class back home, do homework, do things. So yeah. Shut up, boyfriends. So that's, actually give me 1 second. I had to make sure that my camera's still rolling because as we all know, I've had so many problems. Also, it still will not let me do proper outro, which I'm like, cool camera, just don't let me do that. But yeah, so, sustainability. Oh, this is a good one. So, I finally went to the meeting. I'm sorry, I'm warm. Hair, stop! I finally found a sustainability club at my university college that I go to, FSW, and I attended the first meeting there, and the professor who sponsors it, one other person and me were there. The one other person that was there, not a club member beforehand, they just started being one, and I was gonna go there today, but honestly, the first meeting really disappointed me, and I decided not to waste my time on it because turns out it's not really taken seriously. You see, the president of the club didn't even attend the meeting, which to me, yeah, okay, work is super important, but if you're the president of a club, that should be a priority of yours. Like, you should go to the meeting. Like, freaking ask someone to cover for your shift and then go for a later shift. Like, it's not that hard. But if you're the president of a club, you're putting responsibility down to be there on that day. And if you're not, that just shows to me that you A, don't care, B, have better things to do, and C, it's just there for you to look good when you transfer to a college. Like, I would not mind being like a junior something of the club just to have like a position, but in all honesty, the club isn't really doing things that I'm like, oh my god, yes! You see, I asked the professor, you know, the sponsor, what their budget is, because, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, okay, so you have a garden, and you take care of that garden, and I understand that, that's cool. What's your budget? And, first of all, math. So he was saying how they have about a $500 budget either per semester or per year. I would almost assume it's per semester, but I really don't know. I could not remember. But yeah, he said that for about a $500 budget for either a semester or a year. And he said because the previous year they hadn't used all the 500 and still had 300 or 400 left of it, they now have 1,200. Now, I don't know about you, but my math goes this way. If you have 500 and you would need another full 500 to get to 1,000, how the hell would you have more than 1,000 with less than a double 500? So yeah, he does not know how to do math, or he just explained it badly, but yeah. he was raving on about the garden that the club has, which is really, really cool. They have a garden where they, take care of the grass, they plant their own tomatoes, all these other vegetables. And he said, we take care of it over the months, and then in the end, during the springtime when everything blooms, and in the year, we get to just pluck them and, eat whatever you want. Like, you can just eat a tomato because we planted it and we know it's safe. And I think, that's a really, really good deal. It's good to put your work into something and then gain something out of it later. That's good. It puts a good image in your mind of, hey, I put all of this work into this, but later I get this out of it. Like, I enjoy that. And yeah, sure, I'm like, that's awesome. Go you. But I'm also thinking, like, shouldn't the rest of the money you don't spend go to things like purchase a bunch of stuff to sell to students, like perhaps reusable straws, reusable water bottles, then, I don't know, soaps for all I care. And the funny thing is, when I mentioned soaps, he said, oh, you have to deal with like peanut allergies. And I'm thinking to myself, why on earth would you put peanuts in soap? Especially if you're talking about like shampoo, conditioner, that kind of stuff. Like, for all I care, we could literally purchase that from Naples Soap Company, like a couple different scents, and boom, you have something FDA approved, and you're just selling it to students, you're just giving them the option. And it's just shampoo. It's just shampoo, conditioner, or face wash, stuff like that. Things that I know will reduce your waste and also make it fun to reduce your waste. I totally love the idea of having your own garden, doing gardening stuff, but to me it is not the thing about sustainability where I'm like, yeah, I want to put 10 hours of work into that to get 2 minutes of happiness out of it. No. I'm more into the, how can I reduce my waste right now? Not how can I make my own garden and then eventually get some tomatoes, which I don't even like, out of it. But yeah, I was basically asking all that, and he was just essentially saying, let's just worry about 1 or 2 projects a semester or a year, and, be chill. I'm like, okay, so in reality, you don't like anything to get done other than your garden, which takes forever. Then a couple straws that apparently he, by the way, still had from the previous semester or year in a closet. And I'm thinking like, dude, that should not be how that works. If you have the stuff, freaking set up a table in front of the cafeteria. There's a lot of people going through there just saying, hey, you want something free? I got you. You don't even have to waste time. Just pop open a straw and you can use it right now. Like, that's the easiest way to get to people, and it's especially the easiest way to get students to use stuff that they didn't know about before. Reusable straws? F yeah. Set up a table in front of the cafeteria. Tell people, hey, are you going into the cafeteria? Are you going to get something to drink? How about you use this straw with it? That way you reduce your waste. And it's really easy because afterwards you can just rinse it out with some water real quick, or if you don't want to, just put it back in its package in your backpack, and you can do that later when you get home. Stuff like that. It's not that hard. And a lot of students would probably be like, oh hey, you know what, that's a good idea. Probably forget it for the first 40 times, but eventually would come into use. So yeah, that's just my little side of like how college. I have not checked out the FGC Youth Sustainability Club, but I did send them an email with my private email, and I hope that they will respond saying like, hey, we meet in this building on these days at this time. Come check us out. Because I would like to, because I think that because FGCU is an actual university, that they probably have a lot more funding and a lot more people there, and it's much closer to my home, so there's a higher likelihood of the people in the club living around me, so I can actually make some friends that are interested in environmental science, as well as probably take some classes in it, and I can see if I want to do a major, minor, or anything in it. Because it's still a question of mine. I'm incredibly concerned about the environment, and I very much love talking about it, as you can tell by my rant. But I love talking about it, and all I want to do is just find some people that have the same interests, and maybe, meet up with them every now and then, hang out, make friends, that kind of thing. But I can't really do that if I meet one person at a club that is a freshman and is just not really, she's nothing wrong with her. It's just the fact that like, it's just one person. That means their club there doesn't have that much outreach. They don't get that much attention. And I'm just looking for a bigger centrum. More people to connect with, more people to talk to. People that have already taken environmental science or are in the major and can tell me, hey, you know what, this is the kind of things that go on in class. If that's not really what you're up for, maybe you'd rather just take a couple of environmental classes here and there, toy around with the idea. So later on in a position you can say, hey, I majored in business, But I took a couple environmental science classes, so I do have quite a bit of knowledge of how to be environmental friendly and how to impose some of these ideas on businesses, because that is something I would really like to do. Rather than keep opening businesses that just cater specifically to zero wasters or environmentally friendly people with, shampoo bars, or soap bars, oils, and all these other things, I'd rather go to a business and say, hey, what are you doing? Like, what is your business about and how do you go about it? How do you ship out your products? How do you create your products? How do they get shipped to you? And how do you deal with it? Is it electronically? Is it mainly paper-based? What are you doing? And then I want to say, alright, how about we change these 3 major things that can then end up helping save you money, improve your image, and help reduce your carbon footprint. That's the kind of thing I want to do, because I know if I can get in touch with a big company or a corporation like, say, Coca-Cola, that is huge. And if I could get in touch with even just one of their ranches, or freaking one of the grocery stores that they send stuff to, and change their packaging. Boom. There it goes. There I start reducing the carbon footprint of Coca-Cola, better their public image, and save them some money. A whole lot of things that they will like. The only thing they might not like about it is change. But guess what? We change on a yearly basis, so why should we start getting upset about it now? Like, say, phones change every freaking season, so let's not pretend like the environment is any less useful than a phone, because we do live in it every single day. But yeah, that's pretty much what I want to do, which is why I kind of want to talk to somebody who is taking the environmental science major and say, hey, what actually do you go through in the class? Do you talk about different soils, dirts, how plants grow, sprout, what they can bring to the world? Or do you talk about actual ways that mankind has actually affected the environment and how we can better it? How we can try our very hardest to actually make a difference? Because I know it's hard, I know. But there's no point in just ignoring something that's hard. Just because it's hard does not mean to disappear. Back when we had monarchy at work all over the place, people didn't just stop because it was hard getting rid of monarchy. If I'm right from Reign, John Knox was quite the asshole and sexist, but 2 things I don't like. He had the right idea. He wanted democracy to start, though he did want it to start in. I'm so sad that I don't know this off the top of my head right now. Scotland. I had to do the little intro that they have in Reign for Mary. And I was like, oh yeah, Mary, Queen of Scots. He wanted to start democracy in Scotland, and she's like, this is my place, you get out of here. But obviously it ended up happening. I don't necessarily know how, because I haven't done research. But I know that it happened, which obviously means even though things are really, really, really hard to push through, you can do it. No matter how big the obstacles are, you can make the change. And that's what I'm so upset about. Whenever I mention this to like my parents or people from my parents' generation or even older than that. I'm not saying mom and dad are old, they're not, just, I'm trying to. When you talk to them about this, they always just say, it's a lot of work and it's probably never gonna happen. That's just because they don't want to waste their money on it. A lot of things don't have a lot of money in them in the start. When you see like a lot of businesses trying to do a change, like recently I found a business or a company that sells eco-friendly nail polish, and I was like, what? But yeah, they do. They have the like nail polish top, the screwy part, it's made out of bamboo, you can see that, and their colors are apparently cruelty-free and naturally have natural base, but like things like these, just when people don't believe in it just because it's hard. So many things are hard. Freaking college is hard, and yet you see thousands of people doing it every year. So don't come at me with, it's hard. Life is hard, sweetie, yet you still go through it. So if you want to make a change, you can, and I just fully, blatantly disagree with the fact that people say, there's no money in that, and I'm like, there wasn't any money in a lot of things in the start, or like throughout, but they still happened, didn't they? Anyway, this video is just, me kind of explaining or having ranted about sustainability, how it's not really supported at all legally, as in it's really just an excuse for if ever a politician says anything bad, they're like, oh, but I support the environment. You see, I own a share of a solar park. A 0.05% share. And you're like, my dad owns more than you and he has less money. So, politically, the environment is always kind of just taken as a joke and kind of like, yeah, the environment. What was that? They don't give a damn. They only do it to gain your vote. And especially if you're part of the people that actually think, oh my god, but the politician says they want to help the environment. Yeah, to gain your vote, and after that, guess what? Bye-bye. That's not happening. You gotta look at what or at least from what I know, you gotta look at what a politician cares about, their core things, the top things they actually want to do. Then you'll know what they're actually going to fight to get through in office. Because we all know, getting things through any government, but particularly for this case, the American government, is quite hard. Things last a while, and that's why people don't want to waste their time on the environment, because there's a whole lot of loopholes, a whole lot of issues, and a lot of change, and people don't like that much change at a time. They're teensy tiny little baby steps, like straws. Which, by the way, I also have one more thing. Paper straws are a cool idea, right? But they stop being a cool idea once you're using them in a plastic cup, and then they break because they're paper. Just get a reusable stainless steel straw and you'll be all good. They cost a lot less. If you just have if you live on your own, you get 4 or 6 of them, you have more than enough to not only have one in your bag with you at all times, have a couple people over and give them the straw, and freaking look cool doing it. I recently met a girl in my class who also has a reusable water bottle and a reusable straw that she used, and she's all like, I really care about the environment, but she was saying how, environmental science, it's an awesome major, and she wants to be part of it too, but she just sees that there's little financial support in it, which is very true, which is why she's going more towards the financial aspect. And as in she wants to be a financial advisor in a bank. Not my cup of tea, because I'm not good at math. Not that good, but yeah, she wants to be part of it. She wants to be part of that. And I think it's really cool, but I still think that I should either, minor or do some subclasses in the environmental science arena, just because it really does interest me and concern me, and I would really like to talk about it. But as we can still see from this rant, there's just so little talk about it, which is precisely what gets me upset. But anyways, this is my rant, my hot take, as you may. It was kind of a legitimate rant all over the place, but you guys got the main idea that the sustainability isn't necessarily supported at all. It doesn't have much funding, it doesn't have much legal help at all. It just has a whole lot of people pushing to try this. And even if they can't legally push it or change a whole bunch of people's mind, they can make their own change with using soaps, with using reusable water bottles, straws, with using oils. All of these little factors everyone can do, it can help. Even if you think it doesn't, you go into a restaurant and whooping out your own straw, that already saves a straw. So don't come at me with, but it doesn't make a change. One straw makes a change. One straw can be the difference between one turtle dying or being severely injured and living happily ever after. Oh, quick all-in add to that. Landfills. I know a lot of people say, hey, things get recycled. Yeah, they do to some degree, but do you really think every single piece of trash is being sifted through and made sure that it's plastic and clean to be recycled? Answer's no. Just the majority of things do, which is cool, it's awesome, but it doesn't fully do everything you need it to do, which is why we have landfills. So, anyways, this is my rant. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment below, and come back next week. I have an exciting video for next week, so stay tuned. It was really fun for me to share this with you guys, because I love sustainability, as you guys know, and I own a couple products that help me stay somewhat zero waste, more sustainable, and I really try, and I have fun with it because I know things like these that are hard to discuss for some people, or where others just don't want to talk about it because it's annoying, and they all know there's really people feel like there's no point to it. That's especially when I like to prove them wrong and say, hey, I just saved the straw by using my own straw. You didn't. You used it. So guess what? That's me making a difference. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. And come back next week. Bye!